Let's get this thing done, shall we? Well, good afternoon. It's been a while coming, but finally get some track action. First thing to go down the track today will be the two-seater dragster with Paul Brown at the controls. And look at that lovely burnout track. Well, I don't know if you can all see it, but we can certainly see it from up here. That is a lovely launch pad for Paul Brown to use. Low sevens or high eights. It's an 8:15 at 164 miles an hour. And Ian Mitchell, all the best for your birthday later on this year. Okay, next up then, and the car is already lined up behind us. It is, of course, the West End Motorsport Chevy Monte Carlo, Kevin Kent's car. But behind the wheel, it is Suzanne Callin. Of course, we know Suzanne from her exploits in Top Fuel Dragster. Suzanne, a very, very accomplished driver in pretty much everything. She's raced juniors, and she's made her way up into Top Fuel. But this is something a little bit different. She's had 2 goes in the car already. She did a burnout and launch on Friday, and then fair to say, she hustled the car very well yesterday as well, had a lovely launch. So had a brilliant launch yesterday. And unbelievably, it was the first time that she had ever touched the blocks. She actually hit the 330 block. And in all the years that she'd been racing, that's the very first time that had happened. But drove it like she stole it, or borrowed it, whichever way you want to look at it. But drove very, very well indeed yesterday. I would have thought the plan, if there is a plan, is probably go half track at least today. But let's see how she gets on. She's used to driving these cars. She's been in the 3.8s at well over 300 miles an hour in Top Fuel, so she knows how to drive cars fast. It's just this is a different ball game. A Nitro Funny car with the engine in front of her instead of behind her. Over 10,000 horsepower to play with. And the team are pretty much ready. They're just waiting for the nod to fire the car up. So all the team are just waiting patiently down there. They're all ready. And in fact, they have been given the signal. So the starter is attached, and when you see them pick up the fuel bottle, which they now have, they'll pull the mag leads, spin the motor over, squirt the bottle, and engine fires. The distinct engine note change when it goes over to nitro. And when the crew are happy, and lower the body. Okay, so Suzanne going to roll forward now for the burnout. Beautifully straight. And now guide her back in those lovely tire marks she's just laid down there. Well, she's absolutely textbook at the moment. I wouldn't expect anything less from someone of Suzanne's calibre behind the wheel of one of these cars. As a phrase we use very frequently in this sport, it's not her first rodeo. Been around this sport a long, long time. But here we go then. Third go in the West End Motorsport Fuel Funny Car here at Santipod. She goes. What an amazing piece of driving that one was. Got past 330, the back end got loose. Suzanne held that amazingly well. What a brilliant bit of driving that was. 0.96 to 60 foot. At the 8th, 381 at 168, but she's already off the throttle by then. And coasting at the stripe, 530 at 148. But wow, I cannot believe that's only her third pass in a Fuel Funny Car. And that was an amazing piece of driving. Absolutely amazing. And I tell you what, I think she probably has a lot more fun driving that than a top fuel dragster. Because the top fuel cars generally do what they're told. A funny car can turn around and bite you if you don't take control of it. But Suzanne got a handle on that and drove it absolutely superbly. Well done. Massive well done. So they'll get that car back to the pits. Amazing control that was. Well done to the team. Well done as they go to the top end to collect Suzanne. Absolutely awesome. Awesome job. As I say, 0.96 to 60 foot. 168 at the 8th. We know the car can go faster there, but Suzanne was off the throttle by then. But what a piece of driving that was. Okay, we get ready then. It is Nostalgia Superstock, round 1 eliminations to come at you next. We just need to clear the top end of the funny car, and then we'll be good to go with Nostalgia Superstock. In fact, the car is just disappeared round the top corner, so already the track is clear. So we are pretty much there for Nostalgia Superstock. The first pairing, I do believe, will be Glyn Dunford and Jake Cawthorne. Also, you've got Gary Cork down there in lane 5. He is your first alternate, so he's ready there just in case one of the others don't make it round. So then, let's have a look at the championship points. There's so many permutations, and I'm not going to try and second guess it, but I have worked out the points as best as I can. But in the lead at the moment, Jim Smith. Second is Rick Denny. This is after qualifying, by the way. Third is Don Scott. Pete Christmas is number 4. Dan Sanderson is 5. Chris Goodale 6. Dave Billadu 7. Kiwi is 8th. Glyn Boardman is 9th. And a three-way tie for 10th with Duncan Watts, Jack Bishop and Jake Cawthorne. So here we go then, Nostalgia Superstock, and this is the last round of their Lifestyle Championship, so it's a very important one, this. So first up then, Jake Cawthorne with the flag jumper. His dial-in is 10.88. Glyn Dunford, 10.48. 4/10 of a difference between them on the tree. update you as best as I can on the championship situation after this round. Both get a green light. So Jake looking for that 1088, Glyn looking for a 1048. Both looking for the round win. Jake's going to get there first and takes it with 11 flats. So Jake Cawthorne is through. Right, your next pair, John Wilson and Nick Martin. Not a lot of difference between them on the dial-ins. John Wilson going first, looking for 11.42. Nick dials in 11.25. And again, both of them with a green light. And Nick Martin takes the win there with an 11.31. So well done to Nick. Right, this is big. Your points leader, Jim Smith, going alongside Billy Mills. $10.34 plays 9.88. Jim going first. They're both away. And Jim Smith takes it, 10.41 to a loser at 9.91. In effect, a whole shot win. But it is Jim Smith that keeps his hopes alive. Dan Sanderson, Andy Bossenworth. Dan Sanderson is actually number 5 in the points after qualifying yesterday. He dials 13.93, going alongside Andy Bossenworth, the 66 Coronet. He dials 10.55, so he's going to be quite a gap on the tree. Oh, Dan goes red, so it is an automatic win for Andy. .14.06 and 10.57, nicely done from Boz. Just 200s off his dial. Next up, Richard Granger and Rob Cawthorne. Dial-ins, 11.06 for Richard, 12.23 for Rob. And Richard Granger goes red, so it is Rob Cawthorne that goes through. So both the Cawthornes are through. Oh, Richard went 11.07 as well. Just 100 off, but put a cherry on the tree. Right, number 1 qualifier, Lee Childs, with Charles played 9.91 on the dial-in, going alongside Phil Hobson with Old Scalabolts. 12.35 dial-in for him. Both into stage. Phil gets the green. Oh, but Lee Charles goes red, so Phil Hobson takes out the number 1 qualifier. And quite a big red, to be honest, an 08. So Phil Hobson into round number 2. Next up, Chris Goodale, number 6 in the points at the moment. And if he takes this round win, he's going to move up to at least number 5. Going up against Dave Simcock. The all-important darlings. It'll be Dave going first, 10:42. Chris doing the chasing, 9:98. Both away with the green. And that's Dave Simcock, 10:42 on a 10:42. That's what they both hit their darlings, but with a better reaction time. Dave Simcock gets the job done. Great race. Paul Singer, Stuart Arthur, both of these didn't qualify, but we had two cars that couldn't make the call, so they've come in place of Lola Cavey and Chris Shell, so they meet in round number 1. 12:32 a pair on the darlings. Sort it out at the top end. Well, Stuart Arthur's got his nose out in front. Can he keep it there? Indeed he does. 12:43 to lose out 12:46. Right, this is a very, very important round of racing for Rick Denny. Number 2 in the points. Number 1 in the points. Jim Smith already through. Tough customer in the other lane, Kiwi. $11.27 for Rick, $9.80 for Kiwi. So Rick away, Kiwi away. Two highly experienced racers, but only one of them is going to go through. And it is Kiwi that goes through, 9.87 on a 9.80. A breakout by 100th of a second by Rick Denny ends his championship hopes. It's Kiwi that goes through. Right, next up then, Glyn Boardman and Dave Tildesley. Glyn Boardman, number 9 in the points. Oh, Glyn goes out. Dave Tildesley going to be marching on. $10.37 there for Glyn, matters not. 12.12 for the win for Dave Tildesley. Right, Pete Christmas, 4 in the points. Number 2 has gone. You never know, Pete could start climbing the order here. Going alongside Neil Francis. The Darlings then. Neil Dials 10.73, Pete 10.46. Both into stage. Neil goes first. Both of them put a green. And at the stripe it is. Neil Francis takes that on a hole shot. Win margin 0-1 at the stripe. So Pete Christmas out of the points chase. There's only, in reality, one person left that can prevent Jim Smith from taking this title, and he's coming up soon. Next up, Stuart Floyd, Duncan Watts, a pair of Dodge Challengers. 12.85 darling for Stuart, 10.08 for Duncan. Oh, and Duncan Watts goes red. So it is Stuart Floyd that takes that one. Stuart does 12.85, goes 12.76, breaks out, doesn't matter. He'd already got the win light. Jack Bishop, Andy Robinson. Jack Bishop, last year's lifestyle runner-up. That was 986. Andy Robinson looking for 1175. Big wheels up, launch there for Jack. He's going to be chasing Andy as hard as he can. He's pulling alongside, he's just put his nose in front, and he takes the win. 990 against a lose-out. 1184. Jack Bishop marches on. Dave Bilodeau and Dave Bailey. Dave Bilodeau, the winner of last year's Lifestyle Championship. Currently number 7 in the points chase, can move on up here. He's got to get past Dave Bailey. Dave Bailey dials 1210. Dave Bilodeau 990. He's going to be the Nova going first. Oh, but goes red, so Dave Bilodeau is through. $9.96 against a lose-out, 12.35. So Dave Bailey giving the win to Dave Bilodeau. Your next pair, Paul Fleckney. Running alongside Craig Elliott. Craig, 11.08 with the Plymouth Savoy. And then the Coronet of Paul Fleckney going to be chasing 10.48 on the dial-in. So 0.6 of a second between them on the tree. We've got 2 pairs to go after this. Well, no, sorry, 1 pair to go. So unfortunately Paul Fleckney goes red, so Craig Elliott takes the win. Okay, quite simple this. Don Scott needs to win to stay in the championship hunt. If he doesn't, then subject to confirmation, and I'll be able to confirm after the next round, Jim Smith has got enough points not to be caught. But as I say, that is subject to confirmation. I am not going to announce that like I did last year and got it wrong. Well, Don Scott does in fact take the win. Paul Smale goes red. So Don Scott takes the win. Goes 983 on a 982. Nicely done, actually. Ooh, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Okay, we move on to Street Eliminator, the tryouts. So the first round of eliminations for them. So Darren Scannell looks like he's on his own there. No Tom Semper, unfortunately. I know Tom had a few issues yesterday. So Darren Scannell did a good job yesterday. Qualified best with a 971. Well, a nice easy 1181 at 108 to go into round 2 there for Darren. All right, next up then, Tony Higgs. Should have been alongside Mark Skinner with the Fiat 126, but unfortunately unable to make the call today. So Tony Higgs on his own out there. That's right, it's a good chance for Tony to test, actually. He's actually got 2 bye runs in a row. So qualified with a 776 over 190 miles an hour. track tyres said, no, I'm not going to give you what you want. But nicely caught. Still goes through 193 miles an hour, 8.15. Can we please have Run What You Brung into the pairing lanes, please? Run What You Brung. Can you come down into the pairing lanes, please? Right, Chris Skinner on his own. Should have been alongside Jamie Lancaster with the Golf, but again, no sign of Jamie, so Chris taking the solo here. Good looking run, 10.14, 133, sorry. Right, Adam Skinner with the Rat going alongside Russ Pursley with the Dutton. .875 in qualifying from Russ. And Adam was a 10.35. Heads up to the finish line. And that's Russ with a win with a 9.62 to a 10.62. Right, Justin Woolner, a string of 8.4s and then finally dipped into the 8.3s with an 8.37 in qualifying. Going alongside Paul Bentley, knocking on the door of the 9s. The best yesterday of 10.15. Well, cracking reaction time there for Justin, but the tyres said no. But he got it hooked in the end, 9.18, 156 to a 10.09 for Paul Bentley. Getting ever so close to those 9s. But it is Justin into round number 2. Right, Nick Hell going alongside Arnie Pammon. Arnie qualified with an 8.81, playing around with the cow tracks on the back of the car, just trying different setups. Some of them work, some of them don't. But learning a new way each time he takes to the track now. Going alongside Nigel Hell, a regular in Street Eliminator. It's a big vehicle to go into the low 10s. Oh, I'm not quite sure what happened to Arnie there. Nigel goes through with a 10.40. Right, your last pair on the paperwork anyway. Damien Halliwell. And he's on his own down there, so unfortunately no Joe Stevens. Well, plenty of passes in the 10-second zone for Damien. Great to see the Biscayne back out again. Goes 10.77 and 125. Okay, Gasser Circus. Right, round 1 then. And I'll tell you what, Gasser Circus qualifying was jaw-dropping yesterday. Keith Bartlett took the number 1 qualifying position. We thought he was safe. And then along came this man, Ray Turner. Went 10.88 with a 0.9 on a 10.88 dial to take number 1 spot. Unbelievably then, Jason Pickett came along. Dialed 10.03, went 10.03 with a 0 and a 6 to take number 1 away by 3/10,000ths of a second. That's how tight it was. The darlings for this pairing though, Gary Nash looking for 11.15, Ray Turner looking for a 10.88. Ray Turner, number 3 in the points. Can he hold on? Oh, he gets there first but breaks out. So Gary Nash takes the win. Oh, that has implications for their championship positions. Next up, Nervous Nick with the 4-pop going alongside Adam Krasinski. The Darlings then 11.50. It will be the pop going first. And then the Chevy will be doing the chasing. Well, unfortunately, problems there for Nick. Goes red, so Adam Krasinski is going to take the win. Styles 10.77 goes 11.28 into round number 2, but Nick literally just coasting at the moment, very slowly indeed. And comes to a stop. Right, so next pair just going to be on hold for a moment. So just looking at the championship points in Gasser Circus. They do still have another round of their championship to come at, I believe, the Hot Rod Drags. But it's John Gibson with the Ford Falcon, the high roller car. He is number 1 in the points. Cherry Bomb of Jason Pickett, number 2. Ray Turner, number 3 in the points. But she's just seen Ray Turner, unfortunately, bowed out in round 1. So the quad makes an appearance from the top end, and we're just going to hook up to the 4-pop of Nervous Nick and we'll get that one back to the bits. After Gasser Circus, it will be the Wild Bunch, to be followed by Supercharged Outlaws, and then Run What You Brung until we have our next round, the round of 16. For Nostalgia Superstock, of course, we get the eliminations to carry on once again. You can see the rest of Gasser Circus in the lanes, and of course the Wild Bunch are there as well. Through there, so pretty much ready to go once again with the continuation of Gasser Circus. Just having a look at the lane though, the Castro lane where the car was. So next up it will be Steve Matthews with Honky Tonkin going alongside Billy Jones with Grumpy Grizz, the Willis. And there they are, just sitting there waiting patiently. As we look also into the pairing lanes as well, see what's going on over there. Yep, you've got the rest of Gasser Circus down there. And of course, Supercharged Outlaws. Tractor just coming out, just doing a little bit of a clean-up in the Kestra lane. But back with you very, very shortly indeed. GR175230, parked behind the barn. If you could go and move that one, please. Thanks you very much indeed. Parked where you shouldn't be, basically. Steve Matthews, Billy Jones down there. So the Darlings then, 10.20 for Billy, he'll be going first. 9.66 for Steve Matthews. Right, Steve is number 4 in the points chase as things stand at the moment. Number 9 for Billy Jones, it's a green light race. Steve closing in, Billy still got his nose out in front. And Billy takes that, wow, by 0.05 at the stripe. Having said that, Steve Matthews broke out anyway. So it's Billy Jones that goes through. Right, Keith Bartlett should have been alongside Graham Barton, but unfortunately Graham had carburetor issues and unable to make round 1. So Keith on a solo into round number 2 here with Roaring Rat. He dials 10.28. Wow, 0.1 light there for Keith. He's got that part of it well and truly sus now. 10.28 is the dial, 10.34 is the run. Nicely done. KB. Right, next up then, it is Identity Crisis. Going alongside Nurse Stoner. Ryan Gibson, of course, and Emily Taylor. 12.17 dial in for Brian Hill, be going first, and it will be Emily chasing with that 10.92. Oh, but Brian Gibson goes red. Well, Emily does as well, but hers was a 0006 red. It doesn't matter, Brian did it first. Oh, and he goes 12.17 as well. He hit his dial in. But game over, unfortunately. So Emily is through to round number 2. Sean Milsom with Ain't Misbehaving, the Morris, going alongside Paul Dominey with the Austin. 1040 plays 1009. It will be the white Austin going first. Both away with the green light. So Paul's still got his nose out in front at the moment. Sean Wilson doing the chasing. Still chasing. But Paul Dominy gets there first, but breaks out by 1/10 of a second. Wow. He had the 005 light as well. But it is Sean Milsom that stays alive and goes through into round number 2. John Gibson and Steph Milson. Of course, John Gibson, he's number 1 in the points chase at the moment. Going alongside Steph Milson. She's number 5 in the points. So 11.90 and 10.78 the Darlings, but let's see what happens yet. John Gibson. He was away first, got to the stripe first, takes the win. Last one to run then, Jason Pickett, number 1 qualifier. He will go through into round number 2. So Jason Dials, a 10.03. Let's see how well he can judge it on the run here. It's a freebie for him. 10.12. Right, next up then it is the Wild Bunch. And then it'll be Supercharged Outlaws into Run What You Brung. And then it'll be round 2, Nostalgia Superstock. The championship could be decided for the Lifestyle Series in round number 2. Your first pay here, Loz Butcher. With the Mean Street Slingshot, he is in the Kestrel lane. And it's Rob Brown. With Wrathchild. Target numbers 870 and 1014. $10.22 and $8.79. Nicely done for both of them. So you got Rebel with Pete Brown behind the wheel, going alongside Ian Wild with Wildcat. Right, the numbers of choice for them then. Rebel looking for an 836. 6. Wildcat looking for 11.71. Great PB actually for Pete yesterday in Rebel, went 8.31. 300ths of a second quicker than the car had ever been. I wonder if there is an 8.2 in the car. $8.48 and 11.76 for those two. Well, your next pair. It's the Rampage Funny Car of Phil James going alongside the lovely antique toy of Dan Wilson. 9.48 and 10.22 are the target numbers for these two. Oh, 10.22 with a 1. Dan Wilson hits his mark very nicely indeed. 9.55 on a 48 for Phil. But great run there for Dan Wilson. All right, target number then, 12.76. For James Ord with the little Faust dragster going alongside Happy Days, Rob White. Okay, so the pre-run routines have been completed. Bring them up to the line. Let's see what they got for us. 12.48, the target for Rob. 12.76 for James. $12.73, $12.70. Well, nicely done for both of them. All right, next pair rolling forward. So, Terry Robbins with the Saltown Shaker going alongside Dave Schumacher with the crewman. So the numbers of choice then, 10.10 for Dave, 9.39 for Terry. Well, if Terry can hit that, that'll be a PB for him. He's He's already had a PB on speed this weekend, 144 miles an hour. 989 and 950. Almost a PB on speed there. Just double checking there. 134 had already been 136. But nice run for both of them. Right, that sounds like Bob Hawkins coming on round underneath the tower. Good, strong burnout from Bob. So Bob with the 6.66 target number. Has the Wild Bunch ET record, does Bob, 6:43. And also holds a speed record as well, 211 miles an hour. So Bob Hawkins brings the time traveller number 2 up to the start line. Anything starting with a 6 would be good for Bob, but a 6.66 would be superb. That is a good looking, very straight run indeed. 6.87 at 203 miles an hour. Big thumbs up from the team. Nice pass there for Bob Hawkins. So shoots out in the shutdown area. Bob swings right to take the left turn and round the corner at the top end. So Kev Osborne with the Texas Ranger debut this weekend in the car. All the best to them, just getting used to all the controls. And of course, if you're making a debut, then you're not really want to try and rotate the earth first time out. But well done to Kev. Lots more to come. So next up then, it is the Supercharged Outlaws. I think Chris is just sprinting for the tractor, just a little bit of sledding out there. Then it will be Supercharged Outlaws coming around the corner. Then, of course, a little bit of Run What You Brung. And then we get ready for round number 2, Nostalgia Superstock. Back with you very shortly indeed. coming round. It is Paul Dale going alongside Dougie Hill. It's the acute angle, Ford Anglia, and of course the Motor Mouse Slingshot Dragster. So Paul Dale smokes the place out once again. Doug Hill, the quickest in the class at the moment, 7:03. Commiserations, of course, to Keith Freeman with El Loco, him and the team. Unfortunately, they damaged a camshaft over the course of the event, unable to come out to play today. And fingers crossed it hasn't gone any further than a damaged cam, but they'll get that engine out, get some surgery on it and see where they go. Well, supremely pedalled once again then by Dougie. 7:17, 194 mile an hour pass, 8:56, 160 there for Paul. I think he had a little bit of a pedal as well, but two very, very good teams indeed, strutting their stuff out there. All right, next up. I think it's Duncan Beard that's just head underneath the tower. So the Thunder God Ford Model T, Duncan Beard, his first run of the weekend actually. Brings the car up to the line. Duncan Beard. Well, I'll tell you what, off the tray, that's pretty sharp actually. 840, 154. Nicely done. Jim Tucker with a Hellfire Heavy. And of course, Steve Clark for the good guys. The Topolino. Well, Jim always does his burnout behind the tower, in effect, well, right underneath it, if you like. Then just rolls out the burnout box. More traditional rolling burnout. Steve Clark. Steve went 864 yesterday, 861 for Jim Tucker. Very closely matched. Oh, Jim taking a bit of a weave at the top end. Goes through with an 864. Steve with an 868. Side by side 8.6s. Nicely done. Right, next up then, Mark Luton with the slingshot, of course, Chariots of Fire. Well, I mentioned it yesterday. I'm going to give it a good mention again today as well. As you see, the whole team decked out with the motor neurone disease T-shirts, just raising awareness for this charity. It's very, very close to the team's heart indeed. I did actually catch up with them in the pits last night. And, yeah, they were... holding up very well indeed, actually, because I've got the car to concentrate on at the moment. But when someone extremely close to them, and I'm talking to about Kevin here, when someone very, very close is suffering, then we really do pass on our very, very best wishes, of course, to Kevin's very good lady wife. They each have a roll on the car. The same process every single time the car comes down to the start line. And let's see what Mark Luton has got for us this time round. 887 yesterday. The car is arrow straight, pointing right down the groove. Let's see what we've got then. Mark Luton with the Chariots of Fire slingshot. Supercharged Outlaws. Got in the high gear as well nicely. 802! Get in there. Oh, so close to a 7-second pass there. 155 miles an hour. Well done, gang. Absolutely superb. And that is a big, big move for Mark Luton. He's almost in the 7s. He'll be on the 7s next time round. But that was great. Right, run what you brung. We've got a few that have hang on for this. I think there's only about 8 or 10 cars, but good to see them here anyway. Right, that's Nick Waite down there with the absolutely drop-dead gorgeous 39 Ford. You really do need to check that car out if you haven't done so already. It is that clean. Outlaw Street number 34. I don't actually know who it is. My list goes 33 and then jumps to 35. Apologies for that. But Nick Waite goes 11:39. 14:15 on the other side. All right, Jamie Faulkner with the Crossfire Camaro. Caught up with Jamie last night. Had a good chat with Jamie. Don't very often I get a chance to have a chat with Jamie. He was very busy with a very, very young member of the family. When I say very young, baby in arms almost. Just in the carry pouch on the front. Going alongside the Henry car, of course. The Dodge. So, Mr. Price, what have you got for us? I would expect something in the 10s from Jamie. If all goes well. Indeed, it has. 1024, 130, and a 1441, 100 miles an hour. Right, Beavis Allen with the 1959 Chevrolet Impala with a supercharger on the front. And unfortunately, I don't know the chap's name in the other lane. Beavis PB with this car is a 1009. Well, that's as straight as you like. It'll be in the 10s, but what flavour? 1030, 131, and 1140, 123. Laurie Bamford. Really good to see Laurie here today. Fresh from his holiday last week. Well, I think he only got back on Wednesday actually. But booked in for this weekend, and here he is. Alongside the Plymouth Fury. First time I've seen that car this weekend. Laurie, of course, shall we say, did rather well at the Door Slammers event this year. Took the win on the Sunday to go with 5 large in his bank account. 10:16, 131 mile an hour pass there for Laurie. And I think an issue for the Fury, so that's just backing out for the time being. Well, that's Adam Skinner with The Rat. Switched over into Run What You Brung as we await more cars to make their way down into the pairing lanes. As next up on the schedule, it is round 2 for Nostalgia Superstock. They'll be in the lanes very shortly, if not already making their way down. So 10:68, 130, plays a 12:08 at 103. Well, I think that's yeah, the Outlaw Street. Going alongside Nick Waite. Come down for a second run straight away. Catching up on a little bit of lost time. So not many cars in Run What You Brung left, but those that did hang around, a little session for them. But Nostalgia Superstock not far away. So Nick gets there with 11.4, 123, and a 13.77 of 100 miles an hour. Biggest run of the weekend for that car. Right, Jamie Faulkner. Fresh from his 10.3 a moment ago. Driven it straight back down. No hanging around. Straight back in the lane. Back to the start line. Here we go. .10.25, a little bit quicker this time. So Henry Price down there with the car in the Slick Tricks lane, and Beavis Allen back down straight away. Well, another 10-second pass coming up for Beavis. It's a 10:46 at 1:29. Henry goes through with a 14:29 at 100 miles an hour. So from my reckoning, this car's made the trip home from Germany, unless the plates are telling us a lie. I don't think it would have been street driven. Could be wrong, though. Stranger things have happened. 11:43, 123 miles an hour. Very tidy indeed. All right, we got Nostalgia Superstock making their way down for round number 2 now. So that'll be our next track action. And we could have the Lifestyle Championship decided in this round. It might not, but I am keeping a close eye on the points chase here. Quite a few of the contenders did go out in round number 1. So various permutations were whittled down to 2, actually. As by my reckoning, only 2 people can win the championship this year now. But we'll explain that when they come round. And what each person has to do to take that title. So yeah, we're just gathering cars at the moment. Back with you in a moment. Here we go then. It is the continuation of Run What You Brung, actually. This one can just sneak down before we get ready for Nostalgia Superstock. I think there's just a couple more cars to come down for that. So we're going to send the Plymouth Fury on its way. Don't forget there is another Run What You Brung session a little bit later on. But round 2, Nostalgia Superstock, not far away at all. That will be followed by Gasser Circus. And, of course, Street Eliminator tryouts. And our first sight of Nostalgia Eliminator today. A little bit of work going on in the Kestrel Lane. As the Fury goes through it with the 1753 at 82 miles an hour.
You know it's true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart.
Here we go then. It is now round 2, Nostalgia Superstock coming round the corner. And as I say, we got the permutations just to go through here. And I'll advise you as and when they come round as to who can do what to take the title in Nostalgia Superstock. So first up then, Dave Tilsley and Craig Elliott. Dave looking for 11.73, Craig dialing in 11.08. Green on both sides of the racetrack. So it's Craig that's doing the chasing. Dave still out in front at half track. Dave got a big margin at the stripe here. Double breakout though, my goodness me. Craig Elliott takes that one. He breaks out by the lesser amount. Wow. All right, next pair, Jack Bishop and Stuart Arthur. Stuart dialing in 12.32, Jack dials 9.86. Stuart off and running. There goes Jack in pursuit. Stuart's still out in front, but here comes Jack closing in at a terrific rate of knots. He's going to pull alongside. He takes the stripe and he takes the win. 9.90 with all the zeros. 12.36 there for Stuart, but it is Jack that moves on. All right, Rob Cawthorne. But no sign of Kiwi. I've got no idea what's happened to him, so yeah, Rob on a solo here. Dials in 12 flat. That runs at 12.39. Right, Nick Martin with the Downtown Duster. Taking on the points leader, Jim Smith. Right, by my calculations, and this is subject to confirmation, if Jim takes the round win here, could be all over. So 11.27 dial in for Nick Martin, 10.34 dial in for Jim. Jim is closing in, always very tight at the stripe. Jim Smith takes the win. And I think, subject to confirmation, that's it. Nobody can catch him. Rod Norton in the States. Jim's done it, mate. I think he's got it. So, yeah, always give Rod a shout. He's always tuned in when Jim's running here at the pod. And let's say Jim's done very well this weekend. Right, Dave Simcock, Dave Billadew. Which Dave is it going to be? Big wheels up launch there for Dave Billadew. 10.41 plays 9.92 on the dial-ins, and it's a double breakout. Dave Billadew by the lesser breakout, 600ths breakout by Dave, only 100th breakout by Dave Billadew. So Dave Billadew moves on. Oh, Scalabolds, so Phil Hobson taking on Andy Bossenworth. Pick your coronet here. Phil Hobson took out number 1 qualifier Lee Charles in round 1. Dan Sanderson was the other casualty that allowed Boz through. Breakout a pair, but it's Boz that breaks out by the lesser amount, 200s compared to 500s. The flag jumper of Jake Cawthorne taking on Stuart Floyd. Well, this time next weekend, Jake won't have a fiance anymore. He will have a wife. And really pass on huge congratulations for next weekend for Neve and, of course, for Jake, for the wedding that's coming up in a week's time. But let's see what happens here. Stuart Floyd looking for 12.75. Jake looking for 10.90. And that's a win for Jake. A breakout by Stuart Floyd. And how about a 002 light for Jake off the line there? Very, very nice indeed. Right, your last pair. Neil Francis with the Rust Bucket, the Savoy, taking on Don Scott. Now then, Don can move up to second in the points here if he takes the win. Rick Denny went out in round number 1. Don could just move up to number 2 in the points if he takes the round win here. But Neil Francis is a toughie. They're both tough. 10.89 plays 9.82. Oh, it's a breakout for Neil Francis. He got there first. He had a 10th in the bag off the line. But Don Scott, a 100th off his darling, takes the win. Well, he dodged a bullet there, did our Don. And not only that, he moves up into second in Nostalgia Superstock points chase. Right, round 2, Gasser Circus. Keith Barner taking on Sean Milsom. 10.13 plays 10.28. Both away. Going to be very, very tight at the stripe, and Keith Bartlett got there first, but broke out by 100th of a second. He had an 0-1 light to go with it as well. Very, very good effort there from Keith, but a breakout is a breakout. Sean Milsom goes through, but just a 100th breakout, but an 0-1 light. He had 400ths in the bank, but couldn't make him work for it. John Gibson, Gary Nash, next pair, the Falcon and the Pop. Well, game over at the start line. A red light for Gary Nash. So John Gibson is through to round number 2. 10.88 on a 10.78 dial. Next pair. This is another great matchup, actually. Billy Jones taking on Jason Pickett. Billy dials 10.30. Jason dials 10.09. knows the way on the green. Oh, sort this one out of the stripe. It's another close one. I mean, it's Billy Jones that takes the win. Got there first by 0.008. But not only that, Jason Pickett broke out. Tells you how good Billy's run was there. Your last pair. Emily Taylor taking on Adam Krasinski. $10.77 plays $10.94. Not a lot of difference between them on the dial-ins. It'll be Emily's side of the tree that will run first. Well, Adam's already pulled alongside. So Adam has control of this pairing. And takes it with a 10.79. In fact, Emily got there second and broke out. Couldn't win that one. So well done to Adam. Okay, so that sets up the semi-finals in Gasser Circus. Billy Jones taking on Sean Milsom. And it'll be John Gibson taking on Adam Krasinski. Street Eliminator tryouts. Quarterfinals. Chris Skinner, Nigel Hale. Heads up, no darlings. Whoever gets to the top end first will win. And these two fairly evenly matched, to be fair. Both 10-second vehicles. Chris slightly quicker. Identical reaction times, and a 10.20 takes the win over a 10.36. Damien Halliwell taking on Justin Mullner. That's a good looking run for Justin. Fingers crossed, low eights again. Yep, 8.34 to a 10.63. It's still not exactly where Justin wants it, but the numbers are getting better on each run. 10.63 for Damien, one of his best runs of the weekend. All right, Darren Scannell taking on Russ Pursley for a spot in the semi-finals. Russ, we know, is the quicker of the two cars. 8.75 in qualifying. Darren had a best of 9.71. Oh, and Russ goes red. Wow. Couldn't hold the car on the line, so it is Darren. But going to take the round win. He can take it easy. 10.50 at 116. Russ went through with a 9.04. All right, Tony Higgs. A bye run for Tony here, predetermined. So went for it in round one, but in effect the tyres went on strike and didn't give him all the grip that he wanted. Still pedalled it, went over 190 miles an hour with the Capri. So let's see what it's almost like a test pass for Tony. Let's see what he's got. Oh, still a little bit of a squeal there and a bit of a wiggle at half track. Still got his foot in it. 8 flat, 192 miles an hour. Right, Nostalgia Eliminator. So this, in effect, is the semi-final. Adrian Portelli. And he's going to be going first, actually. A dial-in of 10.15. Cliff Turner with the Dodge Dart, 8.67. He'll be doing the chasing. Well, fair to say, Adrian as tough as they come. But Chris will do everything he can to try and catch and pass before the stripe. Adrian's going to get there first. 10.19 and 8.83. All right, your second pair. Neil Lalute, Matthew Dowdy. And we can just see a bit of a weather system circling at the top end. Fingers crossed it misses us. But I think you can all see that. The sun's out at the start line. The sun's out at the finish line. It's what's going on further than that. Oh, Matthew goes red by 006, and Neil takes the win. Oh, 11.86 on an 83. Oh, Matthew. Oh, he goes 11.30 with a 1 on 11.30 dial, but he was 006 red. That was almost bang on. Wow, that was a great race, that one. Okay, we got the Wild Bunch up next, but might be just a pause for a second. They're just gathering cars in the lanes, but we're obviously very observant of what's going on at the top end. Let's just hope that weather system that I think you can all see just misses us. We've still got the sun out on the racetrack, but it depends what side of the trees it is at the far end. You can see it. For me, it's really bizarre. But please miss us. Please miss us. So to come up next then, Wild Bunch and Supercharged Outlaws, and then it will be back to Nostalgia Superstock once again. But whilst we're gathering race cars, I can see some of the Wild Bunch are in the lanes already. Back with you shortly. Well, as you can see, that weather system now starting to disappear from the top end. It looks like it has missed us. How fortunate we are with that one. So James's target is 12.76. Ian's is 11.71. Here we go then, first pair for this session of the Wild Bunch. A little bit of a stumble off line there for Ian. Now how close to 12.76 can James get? 12.67 or 12.31 there for Ian. So Loz Butcher with the mean streak going alongside Dan Wilson with the antique toy. Hit his number perfectly in the previous round. So the target numbers then, 10.22 for Dan, 8.70 for Loz. $10.27 and 8.73. Very good indeed from both teams. So we got to have Rob and Pete Brown up next. Rob lining up in Wrathchild, Pete in Rebel, but just a pause for the moment. As we just hold for a moment. I think it's all quite obvious if you look at the top end. That weather system that got very, very close to the top end has missed and is disappearing into the distance, maybe just catching the very tail end of something up there. But the good news is we've missed the big bit, and we are very, very fortunate of that. There is still some dark bits above us, but if you look behind the grandstand to see where the weather is coming from, once we get rid of that big cloud, then we should be good for the rest of our action. Okay, been given the thumbs up to fire up. Right, let's have a look at the numbers then. 8:36 the target for Pete Brown. Rob looking for 10:14 with Wrathchild. But let's not forget Rebel with Pete. New PB this weekend, 8:31. No, unfortunately, just got to kill the engines. There's just something in the air that's just preventing us from getting these cars down the track. It's not worth the risk. It really isn't. You've got slick tyres, and if you've got any moisture, raindrops, no matter how many there are, you just do not risk it. So we're just going to be on a pause for a moment. Let that clear away. And as I say, once we get rid of that big grey, ugly-looking thing from above us, then we'll be good to go. Happy days, dragster. So good to see back at the track. 12:48. So Dave Schumacher looking for a 10:10. Rob Wright a 12:48. $12.61 and a 10.91 for those two. All right, next up then, Terry Clifford. Phil James. So target number then for Phil James, 9:48. Terry looking for a 9:39. Well, Terry had a PB in speed this weekend for himself, 144.30. Almost matching Keith Crampton's number in the car, 144.77. So, unfortunately a problem though for Terry. They've just had to shut down Sultan Shaker, so Phil James on his way. Looking for that 9:48. Gets a 9:56. Well, just looking at the skies, looks a lot more favourable than it did a few moments ago, so fingers crossed. So here they come forward once again. Pete Brown with Rebel. But unfortunately, Rob has popped out of Wrathchild. Don't quite know what the issue is, but he was good to go a moment ago, but unfortunately not now. .843, 156 mile an hour pass there. So well done to Pete. Commiserations, Rob. So that's the Wild Bunch done. Supercharged Outlaws still to come at you. Terry is still sat in the car. Not sure if he's going to get the run or not. I know, unfortunately, Rob isn't. So Supercharged Outlaws, as I say, lined up in the pairing lanes at the moment. After that, do you know what? It's going to be Nostalgia Superstock again. Going to be turning around as quick as we can. It's the field of 8 for Nostalgia Superstock. They'll be heading down into the lanes as soon as we whittle all of our race fields down. We've basically got about an hour and 15 of actual running time coming up. How long it's going to take to get to that done, not quite sure yet. Time now, 4:30. If we can get it all done by 6 o'clock. Actually, I just realised Terry did message me. Mark Horton is in the car, not Terry. But still waiting for more cars to come down into the lanes. Every opportunity to get a run in here. Okay, so an update from Supercharged Outlaws. Basically, the next run for them it's the final. First and second is Paul Dale and Dougie Hill, but unfortunately Dougie is not making it down. So Paul Dale, in effect, will be first. Chariots of Funny Chariots of Fire is running with Hellfire for third and fourth. And anybody else that comes down is running for fun. Well, we've got a few of the others for Supercharged Outlaws down as well. Okay, Mark. With the Saltown Shaker. So this is Mark Horton. .10.06, 135 mile an hour pass there for Mark, and that's a PB on speed for Mark. Well done. Right, next up then, the Supercharged Outlaws, and it will be the Chariots of Fire Slingshot. Mark Luton. Well, he had a phenomenal pass on his last run. Went 8.02, so close to a 7-second pass. Going alongside the Hellfire Hemi. So Jim does his burnout in the burnout box underneath the tower in the Kestrel lane. Mark Luton, the more traditional approach, burnout across the start line with the big slingshot. Well, we all know what we want to see from Mark. 8.02 on his last run. Would love to get a 7 here. I've said it before and I've said it again, the team resplendent in the blue t-shirts, raising awareness as they have done all weekend long for fighting motor neurone disease. So Jim Tucker brings the Ford up to the line. A best this weekend of 8.61. This is for the third and fourth place runoff for Supercharged Outlaws. Go on, Mark. Go on, Mark. Go on, Mark. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, wow. 7:41. 176 mile an hour. That was staggeringly good. Oh, yes. And they're all smiling, and I don't blame him. Jim Tucker goes 11.73. But Mark Luton drove the wheels off it there. 7:41. Just went 0.6 of a second quicker than what he did before. He turns the corner safely at the top end. Mark Luton, well done. That was cracking. Well done. Well done, gang. Mark Luton's team, the Chariots of Fire squad, that was absolutely superb. So Duncan Beard with the Thunder God and Steve Clark with the Good Guys Topolino. Coming up next, Nostalgia Superstock. So both these teams have been in the 8s. Duncan Beard off the trailer to an 8.4. That was a brilliant run. Steve Clark best this weekend, 8.64. Good looking runs. 8.56 and a 9.12. Nicely done for Steve Clark, his quickest of the weekend. 156 mile an hour. Duncan 9.12, 122. All right, next up, a little bit of Run What You Brung actually. And what a change in the weather. Blue sky, probably for the rest of the afternoon. Looking very, very nice out there. So just to pause, as I say, it is Run What You Brung up next. Got Laurie Bamford down there. So not far away at all. Okay, continue then, Run What You Brung. Nostalgia Superstock will follow. So Laurie Bamford. Should be in the 10 somewhere. Yep, 10.27, 131. And the 13.98. 98 miles an hour. Right, next up then, Beavis Allen with the Impala. Going alongside Jamie Faulkner with the Crossfire Camaro. Both of these have been in the 10s, been in the low 10s to be fair. But is Jamie coming forward? Beavis is on his way. That's nice, 10.29, 130 mile an hour pass there for the big Impala. Oh, unfortunately, Jamie just been pushed back from this one. So underneath the tower. Yeah, the big Plymouth. And 1935 at 80 miles an hour. Well, I think Jamie's got the Crossfire Camaro up and running. And indeed he has. Oh, he's actually going back to the pits. Right, okay. That caught me out a little bit there. So, Nostalgia Superstock are in the lanes. I can also see Street Eliminator tryouts. They're down there as well. Here we go then. This is where the fun really continues. Nostalgia Superstock. Round 3. So, as you know, I've been keeping track of the points. Your first pair lining up underneath the tower. Craig Elliott, Jim Smith. So just make sure, Jim. So Craig Elliott, dials 1108. Jim, dials 1034. As I say, I'm not confirming anything 100% at the moment, but there's only 2 people left in the championship hunt. And Craig Elliott gets there first. Very nicely done indeed. So that's Jim out now. Well, a pause a moment. They're just doing a track check out there. As Jake Cawthorne and Andy Bossenworth line up. Right, I think the tractor is just about to we'll go do a little bit of sledding. Well, both being pushed back at the moment. Just having a good look at the Slick Tricks lane there. But bathed with sunshine for the first proper time today, actually. And yep, tractor just going to do a bit of sledding. Back with you in a moment.
Help me, I'm dug in so deep and I need to climb and show me another path I can walk around these clouds. Everybody comes to the edge sooner or later in life. Help me, I'm lost in doubt. Now I'm bringing light to the dark. Oh, I'm bringing light to the dark. I'm bringing light to the dark. Angel, amid the religion I heard about. Angel, pulling me from the depths I pray, and I'm rising up, and now I'm shining like a diamond in the midnight sky. You are an angel. Love me whenever I lose myth of a legend I heard about. Angel pulling me from the depths I'm free, and I'm rising up, I'm shining like a diamond in the midnight sky.
In Nostalgia Superstock, with Jim being defeated by Craig in that pairing. It has left a door open. If Jim had won that race, it was game over, but it's not just yet. So the Darlings then for this one, 10.50 for Andy, 10.90 for Jake. Jake going first. The flag jumper in the Kestrel lane. 0.4 of a second difference on the tree. Both get away with a green light. Sort this one out at the top end. 10.91 for Jake Gawthorne, not enough. 10.51 for Andy Bossenworth. He takes the win by 0.4. Right, okay, quite simple. Don Scott has to keep going rounds, and if he wants to win the title, he's got to win the final. Otherwise, it's game over, and it's Jim Smith's title. Rob Cawthorne could be the deciding factor here. 12.30 dial in for Rob, 9.81 for Don Scott. Okay, so we have a green light drag race. Here comes Don with the charge at the stride. And Don gets the win. Breakout for Rob Cawthorne by 200ths. Don Scott takes the win. Right, your last pair, Dave Billadew, Jack Bishop. Both away well. 9.92 plays 9.86 on the dial-ins. And Dave Billadew takes it, 10.02 to lose at 9.93. Win margin, actually 0.1 of a second. And that was on reaction time. So Dave Billadew marches on. Street Eliminator tryouts. Justin Woolner taking on Chris Skinner, both away. Oh, this is Justin all the way. 8:33. Getting a little bit quicker each time round. 10:08 there for Chris. So Justin into the final. Other side of the ladder then. Darren Scannell taking on Tony Higgs. The Ford Escort and the Ford Capri. But bearing in mind Tony Higgs has got 540 cubic inch V8 in there with twin turbos alongside Darren Scannell's 2-litre. Yeah, I think Tony's got the advantage on performance, but anything can happen. Well, 775, 194 there for Tony Higgs, his quickest run of the weekend. Darren going through there with a 10:48. So Tony Higgs going to be taking on Justin in the final of Street Eliminator tryouts. Right, Gasser Circus. This is semi-finals. Adam Kaczynski taking on John Gibson. The not so mellow yellow Chevy dials 1078. That's only 0.02 of a second quicker on the dialing compared to John Gibson's 1080 for the high roller Falcon. Just 0.02 of a second difference on the tree. Going to be difficult to spot. Oh dear. A red light for Adam Krasinski. He was a little bit too keen. He actually went first, but when you have the quicker of the dial-ins, then it's game over. John Gibson into the final. Went 1087 on a 1080. And the other side of the ladder then is Grumpy Grizz. Billy Jones with the Willis going alongside Sean Milsom with the Ain't Misbehaving Voice. 1030 for Billy, 1016 for Sean. This for a spot in the final against John Gibson. And it is Sean Milsom that goes red this time round. Billy Jones books his spot in the final. He'll run it out of the back door, see what it will do. 1040. So that's the final in Gasser Circus then. Billy Jones be taking on John Gibson. Right, pairing lanes are empty. Nobody there at the moment. So we still have another session for Wild Bunch if they so choose. And we still got Nostalgia Superstock semi-finals to run, and then of course finals for everybody else. So a pause in track action, back with you soon. Okay, so racing yet to go. We have semi-final of Nostalgia Superstock, and they've been asked to get into the lanes as soon as possible. We've got about 3 cars for the Wild Bunch coming down, although the Wild Bunch have done everything they need to do. There has been the offer of another session for the Wild Bunch. And of course we have Gasser Circus final, Street Eliminator Tryouts final, Nostalgia Superstock final still to come, and Nostalgia Eliminator final. A couple of cars in Run With You Brung, just going to put some runs in. But in effect, we have only got 6 races to go of actual racing. You've got the 2 semi-finals and the final of Nostalgia Superstock, the final of Gasser Circus, the final of Street Eliminator Tryouts, and the final of Nostalgia Eliminator. And what a tremendous end weather-wise to the day. Sun's come out, it's getting quite warm out there now. Considering what it was like earlier on, we lost sight of the turbines in the weather earlier on today, but obviously you can see them nice and clear now. We've watched weather systems miss us at the top end. So Mark and Terry been doing a good job with the Saltown Shaker this weekend. Having a good time. That's a good looking run. Take that, 9:58 at 138 miles an hour. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so Laurie Bamford down there with the Nova. He's next to come round the corner as semi-finalists are gathering for Nostalgia Superstock. 3 of the 4 cars are there. Just Andy Bossenworth to make his way down, and then we can do the semi-finals. So Laurie Bamford then with a car that he has owned for a long time. I don't know exactly how many years, but it's certainly been over 20, I think. And took the win at the Door Slammers. And Laurie, a builder by trade, but also a very, very good gearbox specialist as well. Built my new transmission. Thank you, Laurie. But spotted something underneath the car there. So the Williams boys having a quick look. So looking in the pairing lanes, all 4 of them are there now for Nostalgia Superstock. So the way things work out, it's quite simple really. Don Scott, if he wins the event, he takes the Lifestyle Championship. If he doesn't win the event, the championship goes to Jim Smith. Now, this is subject to full confirmation, but I've been number crunching as best as I can, and I've looked at the qualifying points, round by round elimination points. As I say, it is subject to official confirmation, but I don't think I'm far off. Now, Dave Bilodeau is doing a good job moving up the order as well. But he hasn't got enough points to sneak up and take the title this year. He's certainly moved up very nicely, though. He's actually currently in 4th place in the championship, considering he came into the event number 7. He's actually moved to currently number 4. For number 4. Nostalgia Eliminator final are in the lanes. That's Neil Alute and Adrian Portelli. So that's the first of our finals. They are there. Here we go then, semi-final number 1 of 2, and it's the big one. It is Dave Bilodeau with the Yorkshire Heavy. Last year's lifestyle champion, taking on Don Scott with the Superbird. Well, fair to say, 2 very, very tough races indeed. Both been around Nostalgia Superstock for a long, long time. Both of them have taken event wins. Both of them know what it's like to lift big trophies. In fact, Dave Bilodeau, as I say, he was your lifestyle champion last year. But here we go then. 984 dial in for Don Scott, 992 dial in for Dave Bilodeau. Oh, and it is Dave Bilodeau who puts a cherry on the tree. Don Scott has gone to the final. In fact, they both went red, but Dave Bilodeau did it first. So Don Scott is into the final. But who is he going to be racing? Andy Bossenworth taking on Craig Elliott. The dial-ins then, 11:08, 10:49. Oh, it's another cherry on the tree. Andy Bossenworth goes red. So Craig Elliott takes the win. 10:53 to 11:09. Oh, Craig Elliott, what a run that was. 05 on the tree and 11:09 on 11:08 dial. So that's the final set up for Nostalgia Superstock. Craig Elliott taking on Don Scott. And by my calculations, as I say, please don't take this as official, but the points as they stand at the moment, Jim Smith is on 2070, Don Scott is on 2060. So basically, for my calculation, if Don wins the final, he takes the title. If Craig wins the final, the title goes to Jim Smith. Right, our first final. This is Nostalgia Eliminator. Neil Alute taking on Adrian Portelli. Darlings, Adrian, 10:15. He's got to be the patient one, as going first will be Neil. He's looking for 11:83. And the win light goes to Neil Alute, takes it by 0.9 at the stripe. He has a perfect ET to wrap up his weekend. 11.83 with a 0 on 11.83 dial. Nothing Adrian could have done about that. And unbelievably, Neil has had 2 perfect ETs this weekend. He got his first one in qualifying on his first run, and he wraps up his day with another perfect ET. Well done, Neil. It doesn't get a lot better than that. 2 perfect ETs. Impressive. All right, Laurie Bamford getting another go. Should be okay this time, whatever it was, sorted out. Well, 10.48, but he did sort of have a hop, skip and a jump off the line there. Okay, a pair of Run With You Brung cars, and then it will be the final of Street Eliminator tryouts. And it's going to feature Justin Woolner and Tony Higgs. So in effect, we've just got 3 finals to go. And the final of Gasser Circus is going to be Billy Jones taking on John Gibson. The final of Street Eliminator tryouts, they are there. Tony Higgs and Justin Woolner. And of course the final of Nostalgia Superstock, the championship decider as per my calculations. As I say, don't take it as read. But I've done the best I can on that. Going to be Craig against Don. So 3 races to come at you. One of them in the lanes, the other 2 make their way down as soon as possible. And then we'll be done for the day. And fabulous weather to finish off the event as well. The Mopars, always a good one to come on. It's been a bit temperamental with the weather, fair to say. But we're going to get it done. So Tony and Justin getting themselves strapped into their cars. Well, both of them in their previous runs did put their quickest runs of the weekend in. 8.33 for Justin, and Tony went to a fair way into the 7s. And of course, next weekend, let's not forget next weekend, Bug Jam. And a whole host of race classes taking part there, including Street Eliminator. So it makes me wonder if Tony's going to leave the car here and just drive back home without it. But also next weekend we got Motorsports UK Pro Modified. We got Fuel Funny cars running, 760 heads up. Street Eliminator, as we know. VW Pro, VW Sportsman. Going to be a very interesting event indeed. Bug Jam next weekend, starting Thursday. So here we go. The final of Street Eliminator tryouts. Tony Higgs, Justin Woolner. So number 1 and number 2 qualifier, of course, as well. The top 2 making it all the way through to the final. Justin away first. Tony's got to do some chasing here. I don't think he's going to catch him. Or he might at the stripe. Oh dear, oh dear. 8:33 and a whole shot win. Justin Wilner takes it. Tony with an 8:28 couldn't catch him. Win margin 0.16. And that was Justin 0.3 off the line. That's the way to do it. Tony just couldn't catch him at the stripe. So well done to Justin Wilner, taking the win in Street Eliminator tryouts. Okay, so we've got 2 races left to go. Gasser Circus and Nostalgia Superstock. We've got some Run What You Brung in the lanes as well. They'll fill the gaps. But yeah, just 2 races to go of the event. Good to see some of the Run What You Brung cars hung around right to the end and getting their opportunities now. Unfortunately, I just don't know the names of the 2 drivers.
Help me, I'm dug in so deep and I need to climb and show me another path I can walk around these clouds. Everybody comes to the edge sooner or later in life. Help me, I'm lost in doubt. Now I'm bringing light to the dark. Oh, I'm bringing light to the dark. I'm bringing light to the dark. An angel, amid the religion I heard about. Angel, pulling me from the depths I free and grew. I'm rising up and now I'm shining like a diamond in the midnight.
Okay, so our last 2 finals are now in the lanes. The final of Nostalgia Superstock. And of course the final of Gasser Circus, our last 2 races of the day. Well, it's turned into quite a dramatic day in Nostalgia Superstock. And as I say, it's not official, but I've worked out the points as best as I can. And if Don takes the win here, he'll take the Lifestyle Championship. If Craig takes the win, the title goes to Jim Smith. Subject to confirmation. I must add that. Gasser Circus final is going to be featuring Grumpy Grizz and High Roller, yeah, Billy Jones and John Gibson. Engines fired. Here we go then. The final of Nostalgia Superstock. And this literally is for all the marbles. Right, let's have a look at the darlings then for this all-important matchup then. The final of Nostalgia Superstock. Craig Elliott looking for 11.08. Don Scott looking for 9.86. As I say, subject to confirmation. If Don wins this race, he takes the title. If Craig wins the race, the title goes to Jim Smith. As I say, that is subject to full confirmation. Right, sort it out at the stripe, boys. Here we go. The race win goes to Craig Elliott. He takes the win. 9.89 on a 9.86 for Don Scott for 11.14 on 11.08. The win margin. Oh my goodness me. The win margin. I'll let the burnout finish before I announce this. The win margin for Craig Elliott, 0.08 at the stripe. My goodness me, that is like an inch or two. But congratulations to Craig Elliott taking the win. And from my calculations, I think, as I say, it needs to be confirmed, but I think Jim Smith has taken the title by just 10 points. That's one position in qualifying. My goodness me. Whoa, that was tight. Right, your final, Billy Jones, John Gibson in Gasser Circus. It's a green light drag race, so 10.84 for John, 10.35 for Billy. And the win light goes to John Gibson, 10.89 on an 84. Billy goes 37 on a 35. The win margin at the stripe was a tenth of a second, and that was reaction times from John Gibson. Wow, what a finish. What an event. That's it, we're done. Thank you all so very, very much indeed. A couple of great finals to wrap up our day here. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The weather tried to beat us, but in the end, we beat the weather. Glorious end to the day. And the Mopars goes down in history once again as another great event. Thank you all so very much indeed for coming along. Wish you all a very, very safe journey home. Thanks once again to our epic track crew, to Eurodragster.com, to everybody up here in the tower for the timers, for the timing system, and of course race control, all of our pit marshals, all the medics on site, and of course for all the spectators joining us to have a great show. We're going to sign off from the tower now. Thank you ever so much indeed. We're back Friday for Bug Jam. Most of us will be here Thursday getting set up, but what a great weekend we have had. A safe journey home for everybody. Thank you ever so much indeed, and we will see you soon. Good night.